with coverage you can count on. This is the Erie News NOWCAST.
Good morning. Thanks for jumping on Facebook Live for a mid-morning check of some of the stories we are keeping our eyes on here at Erie News Now, beginning with the United States now getting ready to reopen its borders with both Canada and Mexico, letting vaccinated travelers come into our country, that potentially starting early next month. And that's a move that will end the historic pandemic limits on non-essential travelers. Those limits have been in place since March of last year. So you're talking, 19 months. These new rules, similar but not identical to the planned requirements announced last month for international air travelers. The unvaccinated folks, they will still be barred from entering our country. The Biden administration says the exact November date when those restrictions should be lifted, that's expected to be announced relatively soon. Well, the White House is now telling governors across America to start preparing to vaccinate children as young as the age of 5 by early next month, all in anticipation that Pfizer's COVID vaccine will get clearance for that age group in a matter of weeks. The Biden administration says it currently has 65 million pediatric doses of the Pfizer vaccine, and that, they say, is enough for the estimated 28 million children who would be eligible if the FDA approves Pfizer's request to vaccinate those kids in that 5 to 11 age group. Now, an FDA advisory committee is going to meet in a couple of weeks to discuss the whole thing. The Biden administration is telling vaccine providers that those shots for kids will be delivered to thousands of sites within 1 week of the FDA's authorization. Seems more Americans are quitting their jobs than ever before. We're talking about a record 4.3 million people leaving their jobs just in the month of August, according to a new report. That's just shy of 3% of the entire workforce, and it's the highest quit rate, as they call it, since the report was started back in 2000. Hardest hit restaurants, bars, hotels, where the number of people who quit actually jumped 21% in 1 month's time. That report also found there were more than 10 million job openings across the country at the end of August. And the ongoing efforts to fight the spread of COVID-19 going to be in focus for Erie County Executive Kathy Dahlkemper this afternoon when she holds another one of her coronavirus briefings. It comes with Erie County's average daily number of new COVID cases running into the triple digits once again, 124 in the latest update. Crawford County reported 67 new cases since Monday, 35 more positive tests out of Warren County. Kathy Dahlkemper and several local doctors all expected to be part of a news conference to update the public and the media on that local COVID fight. That one is set to start at 3 this afternoon. Millcreek Police made an arrest recently in connection to a series of car thefts in the township, and they say a few of the victims made the same pretty common mistake. Erie News Now's Lena Jonathan reports.
The typical situation is that the cars are unlocked. Those are the ones that they're looking for.
Millcreek Police message today: keep your cars locked and valuables inside. This is the response after a skew of car break-ins have resulted in lost or damaged goods and even the car going missing. Captain Donald Kaczynski of the Investigative Services Unit is advising residents to keep everything of value out of your car.
Have the tendency to leave their wallets or their purses, other things of value in their cars.
Captain Kaczynski says bottom line is to not keep anything of value in your car.
One of the big things that we try to remind people is you should never leave a weapon, a handgun or anything. We occasionally get handguns that are stolen out of cars as well.
Keeping everything locked from your car to your garage and your home is important.
Had some of the vehicles that were stolen that were actually the keys were in the garage or the car was in the garage.
His advice: be smart and keep your things locked up no matter where you live.
Don't leave anything in your car, particularly overnight, that you're afraid is going to get stolen.
Lena Jonathan reporting for us there. All right, so we have a positive update to pass along this morning, a story that Erie News Now has been following for months. The new slides down at Erie's Frontier Park finally set to open up a little later on today. It comes after a whole lot of planning and construction, a bunch of delays along the way as well. But kids are going to be able to enjoy those 3 giant slides starting at 1 o'clock this afternoon. They're all located on the northern end of Frontier Park. Costs about $450,000 to design and build these slides. Organizers are going to hold a formal grand opening at some point down the road, but say they wanted to get them opened up for kids as soon as possible. And it looks like that will be the case this afternoon. And not bad weather to do that sliding at Frontier Park, it seems, David.
Yeah, we got that. And we also have Zoo Boo, which kicks off tonight at the Erie Zoo. Of course, temperatures will be coming on down into just the middle 60s, so not too bad. It's certainly going to be on the dry side. Tonight, Zoo Boo is 6 to 9. Make sure you do check out their schedule online, because once we get into the weekend, that's when the hours do change up a little bit, and you have to get those tickets in advance. Right now, we are dealing with some areas of clouds out there. 65 degrees, not feeling bad overall. Temperatures around the area still stuck down in the lower and middle 60s, but we're expecting just a gradual rise in those temperatures for today. Work and leisure forecast, a little cooler for that afternoon jog. We're finding a little bit of sunshine mixing in with those clouds during the afternoon. A nice dry day out on the golf course if you're lucky enough to do that. We have limited days left of this warmer weather, obviously. And for any of those sports practices or maybe that football game, soccer match later on in the day, we've got those, again, very comfortable conditions overall. You can see with Futurecast for us today, we've got some areas of clouds that continue to move on through. We'll call it a partly cloudy sky, partly sunny, partly cloudy sky during the afternoon. And as we get into the evening hours, start to notice some more high clouds build on in. Possibly a shower during the day on Thursday, but I think our better chance really as we get past 4 or 5 o'clock, more so as we turn our attention towards the evening hours. You can see we're at 10, 11 o'clock here, and that's when we could have a few spots of heavier rain, maybe even a thunderstorm as well. The forecast is certainly getting very active as we do look closer to the weekend. So not as warm today as compared to yesterday. We've got those areas of clouds out there, but the forecast is dry. I'll talk a little bit more about that weekend, a cold front, how that changes up our overall weather pattern in just a moment.
Well, David mentioned Zubu is making its return tonight, and yeah, well, a lot of the traditional parts of that big event are also coming back. There's one big change that might have some of the bigger kids, so to speak, pretty psyched up for this one. The zoo calls Zubu. It's scary, but not too scary take on ghosts, witches, and yeah, candy, of course. But new here in 2021, the zoo folks say everybody who attends can truly enjoy the sweetness of Zubu. That's because you can pick either treater or non-treater when you buy your Zubu tickets online. Treater as in trick-or-treater. That way the zoo folks say big kids can have that candy as well over at the Erie Zoo. David mentioned it runs from 6 to 9 tonight. Zubu continues right up until that night before Halloween. And at least as far as the immediate future goes, we've got some warm weather for Zubu coming up tonight.
Yeah, temperatures in the 60s this evening. During the afternoon, next few days, we're still in the 70s. May have more clouds around, likely have more clouds around on Thursday. And then into Friday, rain chances start to pick up. We'll have more of those scattered showers around. Could be a pretty soggy day on Saturday as that cold front does move on through. Breezy as well. Sunday could feel a little chilly out there. Lower 60s for highs, and will be rather comfortable and certainly more like the fall season Monday and Tuesday, and things are looking pretty dry.
30 minutes of news coming your way at noon on WSEE. We'll be back on Facebook Live about the same time tomorrow, and another edition of Erie News Now Sunrise starts at 5 a.m. on Thursday. We'll see you then.